We're kicking off this Wednesday morning with Commitment 2016 coverage and, of course, Super Tuesday results right here in Georgia. Donald Trump is Georgia's GOP primary winner. He took 39% of the vote. Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz each tied for second place, each with 24%. Now, on Georgia's Democratic ticket, Hillary Clinton won with a whopping 71% of the vote. Bernie Sanders took 28%. Let's look at the breakdown of how some Georgians voted. In Chatham County, 35% of voters chose Trump. Rubio took 26%, Cruz 23%. And it's the same story in Bullitt County. Voters again chose Trump over Rubio and Cruz. On the GOP side, it's pretty clear Americans really do favor Trump right now. He won the states you see shaded in red there. The only Super Tuesday states he took second place in are Iowa, Texas, Alaska, and Oklahoma. Those are highlighted in yellow. Ted Cruz won in those states. And now let's look at some of the Democratic states. Clinton won Super Tuesday states that are highlighted in purple, including Georgia, South Carolina, and Iowa. Sanders won 5 states highlighted in yellow. Those include New Hampshire, Colorado, and Oklahoma. In all, Super Tuesday was huge for Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. ABC's Lana Zach has the major political headlines of the morning. Good morning, Lana.
Thank you all so much. What a Super Tuesday!
With these Super Tuesday results, it looks increasingly likely that the November election will be a matchup of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump.
I'm going to go after one person. That's Hillary Clinton.
Clinton marching forward on a clear path to her party's nomination, keeping one eye on her Democratic competitor, Bernie Sanders, who won Vermont, Oklahoma, and Minnesota. But with a commanding lead in the delegate count, Clinton already taking on Trump.
America never stopped being great.
On the Republican side, Ted Cruz won his home state of Texas and Oklahoma.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Marco Rubio won his first state, Minnesota, ensuring the race for the GOP nomination will stretch on. But the night belonged to Trump, who was a bit more gracious to his competitors than in recent days.
I want to congratulate Ted on the winning of Texas. He worked hard on it. I know it was a very tough night for Marco Rubio. He had a tough night, but he worked hard.
Cruz, feeling victorious with his Texas win, urged voters to think of this now as a two-man race.
If the race remains divided, Donald's path to the nomination is much more likely.
None of the remaining Republican candidates have given any indication that they are considering dropping out, which could potentially lead to a brokered convention. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
All right, Lana, thank you. Now, local Republicans are split when it comes to supporting Donald Trump for the GOP nomination. While he's clearly connected with people and wanting change, and while he has established himself as a Washington outsider, some just worry he is not stable enough to be president.
His core is anti-establishment, and I think that's really driving home at a micro level with people to the polls to vote for somebody against politics.
Many of those people who don't support Trump actually say they still credit him with uniting voters and with driving those voters to the polls. Well, on the Democratic side, people are celebrating in Florida this morning at Hillary Clinton's campaign headquarters. She used her victory speech last night to take aim at her Republican opponents and at the negative nature of this campaign.
It's clear tonight that the stakes in this election have never been higher. And the rhetoric we're hearing on the other side has never been lower. Trying to divide America between us and them is wrong.
Now, Clinton is now focusing on upcoming Democratic primaries in Florida and Michigan. Well, now to a local race in our Commitment 2016 coverage this morning. It appears the race for Chatham County Sheriff is headed to a runoff. Interim Sheriff Roy Harris took the most votes, 33%. Opponent John Wilcher came in close second at 29%. That runoff, by the way, is March 29th. Now, our reporter, Ariana Poindexter, spent last evening with John Wilcher's supporters. This morning, she gives us a look ahead at what's next for his campaign.
Well, the party may be over, but John Wilcher supporters went home happy knowing that their candidate will be in the runoff election. Now, that election is expected to be March 29th. It'll be against Sheriff Roy Harris. John Wilcher got up on stage and thanked his supporters. He said, quote, "He's in it to win it."
But all my other supporters have been excellent. I've had over 100 volunteers that give their time for no money and everything, and I had a lot of people who contributed in my campaign, and we're ready to go again if it takes it.
Again, that runoff election is March 29th against Sheriff Roy Harris, and John Wilcher tells me he will begin campaigning again this week. Reporting in Savannah, I'm Ariana Poindexter, WJCL 22 News.
Ariana, thank you. Well, Lauren Bradley has been keeping a close eye on the Roy Harris campaign for us, and she has his reaction this morning to the results and to news he'll be going to a runoff.
A big night for Chatham County and Sheriff Roy Harris as his supporters here at his watch party huddled around a TV screen and watched those votes come in. Sheriff Roy Harris waited for every update to come in. Harris says he's disappointed in the negative campaign season. He says above everything, he's a cop and not a politician. Now he's got to get people to the polls again for the runoff election later this month. He says he'll focus on all his experience, something that makes him the best man for the job.
I think qualifications count for this. If you are hiring a chief of police, they want qualifications, they want education, they want experience.
Harris says he wishes former Sheriff Al St. Lawrence was here to guide him through this process. Now Sheriff Roy Harris will face candidate John Wilcher in a runoff election. Reporting in Savannah, Lauren Bradley, WJCL 22 News.
Well, of course, you can find nonstop election results for both Super Tuesday and the Chatham County Sheriff's race online at WJCL.com. It's 5:39 on your Tuesday morning. No surprise, people are upset over the state of South Carolina roads, but find out why some folks are now demanding lawmakers return their paychecks.